Happy New Year, Spearfishing Down Under. It is right at the start of the year. I trust you had an incredible Christmas and a great new year. We're kicking off the year with an absolute cracker. Listen, we are still on girl power. I'm actually diving with two friends of mine, Hayden and his partner Lisa, all the way over from the UK. Now, Hayden's been diving for a few years. Most of his diving's been in the UK, which is pretty tough diving. Cold water, dirty water often, catching, shooting little fish and scallops is predominantly the diving that he has done. Now, Lisa only started diving 3 months before she came on this trip. Now, this is absolutely incredible, and I'm sorry, Hayden, to say, but Lisa, after 3 months diving, is actually a better free diver than Hayden. Hayden, I love you, my friend. I apologize for that, and I know you'd admit this as well. This girl was a born spear fisherman. Hayden and Lisa actually arrived in Western Australia, went diving with some friends over there as well, and they flew from WA to meet me here in Brizzy. We'd made plans. We were gonna jump in the car, put the boat on the back, and head into central Queensland and spend some time diving out on the reef. But when they arrived, unfortunately, their luggage didn't arrive with them. That threw a bit of a spanner in the works, and we threw some ideas around what we can do while we're waiting for the luggage to arrive. Hayden was on the phone to the airlines, trying to work out when the luggage was gonna arrive, and they found out that it was gonna arrive the following day. So we decided we're gonna do an afternoon dive here locally while we're waiting for the luggage to arrive. Now, the biggest challenge to diving with no luggage was the fact that the luggage that didn't arrive was actually their spearfishing gear. So we raided my shed, we pulled out old wetsuits, pulled out fins, socks, gloves, pulled out my old guns, re-rubbered a couple of extra guns, and we got enough gear together for us three to be able to go spearfishing that afternoon. Now, this was in July. It was quite cold for me, but for these guys, it was like a summer's day diving. On the way down the boat ramp, we were chatting about what they'd like to see or what they'd like to shoot. Now, just a reminder, they're from the UK, so little fish is their norm. So they were happy to really shoot anything as long as it was a bit bigger than what they usually shoot. Being winter, I figured Mulloway was probably a good fish for us to target. So that was gonna be the #1 fish for us for the day. The other thing they wanted to see was whales. Over in the UK, they haven't seen whales very often or been close to big humpbacks, so they were really keen to see some big humpbacks. We launched the boat, we headed out, and we were a couple of 100 meters out from the bar, and straight away we started seeing humpbacks jumping everywhere.
Oh, we need to see a big shark.
Oh, no, not really.
Lisa and Hayden were absolutely stoked. We got to see some humpbacks just jumping in front of us. We got to pull up close to a couple of humpbacks just laying playfully on their back, slapping their arms.
That's epic. That's the one you wanted.
The guys are laughing, so excited about being able to see humpbacks. For somebody like me, this is an odd thing because during winter and spring, we see whales all the time. And it's only when I take other people with me that I reminded how much of a thrill it is to see these animals. One thing the guys are really keen on is seeing them in the water, which doesn't happen very often. So, with the fact there were so many whales about, I thought they might get lucky. We headed down, dropped the anchor on the first spot. There was no current. The water was reasonably clear, and these guys were just excited to see some fish. I just started diving with Hayden, then I dived with Lisa, dive with Hayden, dive with Lisa, and we just swapped between the two every time. Lisa's first couple of dives, we actually saw some really cool fish. Came down the bottom, we're laying there together, and a nice mangrove jack came out behind some boulders. Now, the funny thing was, I was trying to point it out to Lisa, but there was other fish around. There was surgeonfish, there was blue gropers. So she didn't even see that mangrove jack as I was trying to point out which fish it was.
That's the mangrove jack. The one that went that way.
A couple of dives later, we dove again and a blue bar parrot swam in. I was trying to point that parrot out to her. In fact, I even grabbed her and pushed her towards that parrot, but again, she didn't see it. It's really tough for somebody like herself that's very new to spearfishing and obviously only ever dove in the UK to see and understand what fish they are here in Australia.
I love the blue bar parrotfish. They're yummy.
That's a hard thing when you're not sure what it is.
Yeah.
When it first come in, if you just shot it then, a parrotfish come in, a blue bar parrotfish.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to see.
Yeah, it was right behind a massive blue groper.
Yeah.
We moved a little bit to an area that I've seen mulloway in the past. Dropped the anchor again. All three of us swam together and Lisa and I breathed up and dove together to the bottom. About 3/4 of the way to the bottom, I come down on the edge of some boulders where the big crack is, and I often see jewfish there, and I noticed 2 fish sitting on the bottom. I turned to Lisa, called her down, pointed out those fish. Now, remember, this girl has never shot a big fish before. She just slid down to the bottom. She waited there. She aimed up at the first fish. It moved away a little bit. She waited for the second one to come. And she shot that fish really, really well. The jewfish went nuts, ran up through the boulders. She didn't quite fight it well. She didn't even really know how to manage her reel line. We headed to the surface together. I knew I'd be digging that fish out of the bottom. Headed to the surface. Well, all three of us pretty stoked. Hayden was stoked that Lisa had shot a jewfish. I'll go dig it out for you. Good job, girl.
Thank you.
Jewy.
Oh, amazing.
A really good one. There was 2 of them. They just like swam past.
So good.
They swam away and they just come straight back.
There's 2 beautiful ones.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I should have grabbed the line sooner, shouldn't
That's
I?
fine. You're good. We'll go dig it out. I headed back to the bottom just to untangle it, and took me a little bit to unwrap all the line, and we pulled that fish up. Okay, nice and slow now, nice and slow now. Hands in your gills like that. Get your hand in your gills. Lisa was trying to work out how to manage holding a big fish and how to knife the fish. And finally I thought I'd better do the job well for her. Hold him up. Oh, this girl's a killer.
Fish.
Congrats.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now we're gonna get you one. As we were getting ready to put that fish back in the boat, I noticed a remora that was swimming on that fish, something that she'd never seen before. How's the remora? See the suckerfish on it?
Oh yeah.
When you were shooting, I saw the remora on it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. We headed back to the boat. Lisa grabbed that fish and she lifted it in the boat. It was pretty cool. Amazing moment. Been only in the water for an hour, and this girl from the UK had already shot herself a really nice mulloway. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You may be better than 10. That good fish could be like 12 kilos.
Really?
Maybe even better than that. Who's a nice fish. Beautiful fish. Boy, I don't know if you can see it. That colour in his head. Like, on one side it's purple. Like when you look at it on one angle, it's like silver.
Yeah.
And then it's like the hues change.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We moved spots, and I was trying to get Hayden to spear a mulloway as well. We dove a number of times. We were laying on the bottom. It was really fishy, but it didn't quite just look right for mulloway. Hayden didn't care. He just kept diving and diving. It was getting late in the afternoon, and he really wanted to get himself a mulloway. A couple of dives later, Hayden and I dove together, and we're laying side by side on the bottom. And I noticed there was a nice little Maori cod sitting in front of us. Obviously a fish Hayden's never seen before. Not really a big fish, but a really tasty fish. A fish that every time I see them, I like to take them. I pointed the fish out to Hayden, but it was sitting directly in front of a rock. Now, I would always say, just wait till that fish moves. But the fish just sat there and looked at us. It wouldn't move, sitting there in front of that rock. Hayden tried to wait, but it wasn't moving at all, so he shot it straight through the fish, and you hear a big clunk as he hits the rock behind. Pull that little Maori cod up. They're really yummy. You right?
Yeah. Oof, I tried hard.
Yeah. I'll go dig it out.
That's pretty damn good and proper. So that. So these a bit harder than normal lead. That fits over the end of the spear, and you just can twist the spear sometimes and twist it out.
When we're moving the boat to the next spot, I noticed that there was some more whales that seemingly close by to the boat. We dropped the anchor, we hopped in. We're all talking about what the plan was here and where we're going to dive and how we're going to dive together. And I looked past Lisa and Hayden, and a whale jumped right behind them. I quickly turned my camera and I said, hey guys, quick, look, whale right behind us. And it just jumped clear of the water. We were absolutely stoked.
Oh yes!
Lisa was stoked, Hayden was stoked, and I didn't think the whale stoke could get any better until I looked and saw right behind us a whale just pop its head out of the water, take a breath, and duck down straight under us.
Spin this way, spin this way. Right under you.
Two big whales swam straight under us, just meters below our feet. Lisa and Hayden were over the moon.
I said you won't get lucky and swim one under you. I got it on camera, I think.
Oh, they're going to come up in a second.
That is so cool.
Wow.
That a bit scary. Was that a bit scary, that one? They're such big animals though.
That was ridiculous. I was looking at one there, and then there was one right below me.
Right there.
Oh my god.
I reckon that's a bull chasing a female.
The opportunity they wanted to swim directly with a whale, and they had that opportunity one afternoon. We're diving around for probably a half an hour to an hour. It's getting really late. We hadn't seen any Mulloway, so we decided we'd make another move. We pulled up another spot where I've seen Mulloway before, and again, Hayden was keen, so he kept diving, didn't see any more Mulloway. Lisa and I breathed up and we dove again, and we come down to the bottom, and it just looked really fishy. We landed a little bit off the side of where we'd been diving. We hung on the bottom together, and I could hear Mulloway in the distance that sounded like they were coming closer. Now I want to remind you, this girl Lisa's only been diving for 3 months. She sat there and laid on the bottom beside me for a really long dive, and 2 Mulloway came out of the murk, swum straight up to us. Now, she'd shot a Mulloway, but she looked at those fish and she wasn't quite sure. She just looked at me, shrugged her shoulders. I pointed and said, yeah, take the biggest one. That fish come straight back past her and she shot it again. Another really nice Mulloway. We headed to the surface. She got a little bit better working her reel and pulling that fish up this time. When we got to the surface, it was evident to me that she had no idea that I was a Mulloway. When she asked the question, what fish is this?
You're a natural hunter, girl.
What was that?
A jibby.
Oh, was that another one?
Yeah.
Oh.
She shot another one.
Honestly, the funniest thing, to think of a girl being spearfishing for 3 months and to shoot 2 really nice Mulloway on the first time diving here in Australia. Now let me add, she is an exceptional diver for somebody who's been diving for 3 months. Not just a great ability to hold her breath, but an awesome ability to hunt and to think well in the water. After Lisa got her second Mulloway, we realized it was getting really late. We took a couple of photos and thought, hey, Hayden's done well shooting a nice Maori cod. We might just head in and get prepped to pick up the gear in the morning and start to head north. Now, next episode is the second half of this trip with Lisa and Hayden. And we head north into central Queensland and we meet up with some really good friends of mine, Michael and Jesse, from Sailing Papau. We had an awesome couple of days staying out on the yacht on the Great Barrier Reef, shooting some really good fish. And listen, every fish for these guys was a first. They were stoked. They shoot some absolute awesome fish, some fish of a lifetime for them, and just absolutely blew their mind about what Australia has to offer. As always, we'd love you to like, subscribe. Love you to press that bell so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. Share with some friends. Maybe leave some comments. We'd love to hear from you.